Quack, 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 quack. Hey, what is up everybody? My name is Brian with Bluefoot Homestead. Thanks for checking out this video. And you think you want to get some ducks, huh? Well, there's a few things you gotta know about it and a couple things that I've experienced through now my second set of ducks. Figured I'd go ahead and let you know some things that I've learned. First, they are absolutely adorable. Now there's no getting around that. You get some baby ducks, it's springtime right now, and you go into your Tractor Supply and your home stores and stuff like that, and they got their tubs out with a whole bunch of chickens, and then you got ducks. They win, hands down. They are the cutest baby birds that you can possibly get. So they're very tempting. That's what got us the first time is we went into the hatchery and they had a whole tub full of baby ducks, and I couldn't leave without a few of them. You know, so we ended up buying 4. We lost 3 of them. We still have 1. But they're pretty cool. They definitely have some personality. The first thing though, you know, you go ahead and get them and bring them home, set up the brooding box, you know, your typical heat lamp, food, water, stuff like that. But the food, you cannot have any medicated starter grain. Of course, you're going to be starting it on a starter grain, but you have to get non-medicated. It's actually a little bit hard to find, at least in my area it is. But it is doable. You can find it. This round with the ducks, we weren't able to find any big bags of it, so we had to get duck-specific food that was non-medicated starter crumbles. So it costs a little bit more. It's a smaller bag. You're going to get about a, I don't know, 5-pound bag or something for quite a bit more per pound. But you have to do it. And another thing with the food is water. Ducks have to have water when they eat. Not totally positive on the reasoning for it, but I know that they get a mouthful of food, walk over to the water, soak it in the water, and then eat it. So they definitely go hand in hand. They will go through a lot of water. They will splash a lot of water, but they'll drink a lot. They'll sit there and just go to town for quite some time. They also eat a lot. They eat a lot more than a chicken does. So you got to be prepared for that, definitely. Make sure you have enough food. Make sure you have a watering system that's going to be able to hold quite a bit of water, and make sure you have enough for all of them. So another thing is the actual brooding box. Whenever you get them home and you stick them in a whatever container you're going to use, we used a 27-gallon Tupperware storage container. Home Depot, Walmart, they all carry them. One of the biggest ones that they have. And once you get the food and the water in there, with 4 ducks, they outgrew it in pretty much a week. They grow extremely fast. And I do apologize for the wind. I'm trying to get out of the wind a little bit, but all right, we'll see how that is. A little bit better. No breeze right now, but the sun's kind of peeking through the clouds, so it's going to be light and dark on me. Yeah, so anyway, we use that Tupperware container. It's good for about a week. Another thing with ducks is they grow extremely fast. It's not like a chicken. It was about 2.5 weeks. They outgrew that whole tub completely, and we had to keep them there another week, and it was very crowded. They were sleeping on the watering system that we had. They just ran out of room. It happens very, very fast. So they're still cute, still adorable. I still lost some little pets. We're gonna have them as pets. But yeah, they grow really, really fast. I mean, they're gonna look almost full grown very shortly. So one thing I can mention is to have your secondary place set up for a secure place for them, because they're not going to be able to go out into the fields and start roaming around yet. They'll get picked off really quick by any predators that may be around. So anyway, we just recently moved them over to a chicken coop that is enclosed. And they're basically staying in the same little area. They like to group together. So it's working right now. But I had that planned out by the time we brought them home. Where's the next place going to be for them? After this, I'm going to build another chicken coop. Well, they're not going to go into the other chicken coop. I am going to be building another chicken, a hoop coop. But I'm going to introduce them into our pet flock. So we got some little mixed breed of chickens in there, some Polish, some barred rock, a duck, you know, things like that. So yeah, we're going to introduce them into the miscellaneous, the misfit flock, I guess we could say. They're all great birds in there, but that's going to be the third point and the third destination. So you definitely want to get a good brooder box, big one that's going to be bigger than you think. Have a secondary plan set out and a third plan set out. So that's the way I would do it. That's what I would recommend you guys do as well. So yeah, that's getting them home and taking care of them. So the third thing is they can be very, very messy. The food, they have a tendency to kind of do this, you know, and kind of scoop backwards whenever they eat, and they pull a lot of the food out of whatever dish or anything that you have. So they are kind of wasteful, at least in the beginning till you get a proper feeding bowl or something like that for them. But they'll go through quite a bit of food for that reason. They do the same thing with the water. They kind of do this flickering motion, and it splashes everything back kind of on them, but in between their bill and their body. So whatever's in between there is going to get absolutely soaked. So you get the combination of those two things. You just kind of get this sludgy type food, but it makes a little bit of a mess. Now on top of that, they don't give little chicken turds. They squirt and they fart when they do it. You hear it. It's audible. Most definitely audible. They poo a lot. They eat a lot. Well, whatever goes in has to come out. So the combination of those three things, splashing a lot of water, flinging a lot of food around, I've seen them actually kind of shake their head and just food goes flying out, probably because they weren't getting enough water. In the poo, it is going to destroy your brooder box quickly. Now, it gets better as they get older. But as you have them in a small contained area, it builds up really, really fast. When we were, the last week that we had them in the Tupperware container, it needed changed out 3-4 times a day, and it's stinky. It'll get you, it'll make you high. We were only able to do it 2, and I kind of rushed it a little quicker to get these guys outside with the light to the chicken run area. So they probably weren't really ready for it, but they're not even hanging out under the light, and we've had some cold nights the last couple nights, and they seem perfectly fine. So you can get them outside in the elements, the temperatures, maybe a little bit sooner than you would think. It's been okay for us at least. So, but they do get messy. I'm fully suspecting that big chicken coop, well, it's a small chicken coop actually. It's about 3 feet wide by 5 feet deep, which is 3-4 times bigger than the tub that we had. So I'm expecting every other day I'm gonna have to clean it out. I got hay in there. It's not wood chips. It's not wood shavings or sawdust. So I'm actually doing straw, not hay, it's straw. So it's the typical bale that you can pick up. They're only about $4, and that's going to go a very long ways, a lot longer than you might think. So they get messy. They absolutely get messy. And other thing is, once you get them out into grass or a field or the final coop, they like to grub around for bugs, and I think they get roots. I'm not positive exactly what they're eating, but I have seen them come up with roots out of the grass and some of the weeds and stuff like that, and they'll be just kind of chomping that down. They love it. They absolutely love it. So they're going to be going around in whatever area that you have, burrowing down with their bills, and you know, they make a can't really imitate it, but you know, it's kind of comical, but they're great to watch. But they will put little holes, a little bit smaller than a golf ball, down throughout the area that they are. So if you have some pristine grass or anything that you want to really take care of and keep looking good, don't put ducks there, because it will over aerate whatever they're on. They will definitely kind of tear up the ground a little bit, but it's well worth it. It's absolutely well worth it, because ducks are awesome. We got 4 peking. Those are the ones that you saw, the little kiddos and the adolescents. So they're great ducks. They're fairly friendly, but they're pretty skittish at the same time. You know, once you actually get a hold of one, they're pretty mellow. But they really don't want to be picked up. They just kind of like hanging out with their own. And I guess that's another thing too, is they're herd birds. You know, if you have a few of them together, they're gonna stick together like glue. They could really care less about any of the other birds. They just want to be a duck and hang out with ducks and do duck things, and that's what they like to do. One of the duck things is, it just cracks me up, is a duck in the mud is better than 2 in a bush, because ducks love mud. Every time it rains, she gets excited, runs out, and just starts going through all the mud and playing in the mud, and they love it. They love mud, they love water. They'll get dirty. They're pretty clean though. They'll clean themselves up. They groom themselves very well, and they take care of themselves very well. So very, very low maintenance birds. There isn't really anything that I've had to do with the one duck that we have left. Perfectly healthy. They're low on veterinary type stuff. They don't really get sick. They're not immune, but resistant to a lot of the diseases that chickens will get. Chickens will get sick before ducks will. That duck's been through some stuff. The one that we have, he's seen some stuff. I mean, he's seen all his buddies get killed. He's seen hawk attacks. He's seen mammal attacks. You know, I'm not sure exactly everything that's attacked the birds that we have, but seen some just disease with the turkeys go down. So yeah, that duck's got some experience in life already, and it's only about a year old. So they're very resistant to a lot of things, and they're very healthy birds. So I haven't really heard of any issues with that at all. One downfall to a duck though is they're pretty slow. You know, they're not going anywhere fast. They waddle. They are the definition of a waddle, which is cool. It's cute. I love watching them. Yeah, he's just kind of waddling around right now, just rooting for little grubs and roots and stuff like that. But when they got to move fast, they do not move fast. It's going to be a couple steps and try to fly to get away. They're going to fly a lot faster, even if it's only for about 5 feet. They're going to move a lot faster than trying to run. A chicken, they're like little bullets, especially the little guys, the smaller breeds. I mean, those guys are fast. So ducks, not so much. They're kind of clumsy, you know, which is cool. I like them. That's why we got more. One more thing with ducks is pretty much from little tiny babies, and we had them about a week, I think, before we did this, and for the rest of their lives, obviously, they love water. So I need to get a couple more, at least one more, but a little kiddie pool. Once they're able to get big enough to be able to hop into a kiddie pool or stick a couple blocks of wood or something, teach them that little ramp and put some blocks of wood or a rock or a stone or something to where they can actually crawl back out of it and they don't get stuck in it. But they will absolutely love you for that. We do it every time we clean the brooder box, because they just kind of lay down in all the and they become good morning to you too. yeah, they get pretty nasty. So they need a bath, they need a clean. So I would pull the brooder box out, instantly turn the water on. We were keeping them in a bathtub, so we had the Tupperware container sitting in the bathtub, the light mounted on the faucet. It was a pretty good system for us. That's what we use. I would just take the container out, grab the ducks, throw them in the tub, turn the water on, and as soon as they get the water, especially young ones, they'll start diving under the water and swimming all over the place and stuff like that. But the water's gonna get really nasty really quick, so I'd do 2 cycles of water. I'd only fill it up for about an inch and a half. Let them get most of the dirt off and stuff like that, drain all that, fill it up again, just to where their feet are still touching. Peaking, at least, they don't really care for their feet to be off of the ground. They like being on the ground. As soon as their bodies float, they bolt over to the shallow end and sit there and stand up, and they'll just start cleaning themselves, and they love it. They kind of do the head bob, if you've never had it. They'll do the exact same thing as an adult. They'll jump in the water and just start cleaning themselves and having a good old time. So they absolutely love water. I guess that's a no-brainer. It's a duck, it's a waterfowl. So definitely have some water available for them, all the way from a young age all the way through. So some bright sun. So yeah, that's about all I got. Ducks are awesome. I highly recommend getting some ducks, but you definitely got to know a couple things going into it. Can't really make mistakes on. You can't make mistakes on the food. You can't make mistakes on not keeping a clean brooder box. You can, I guess you could make a mistake on not giving them any water to play in, but you're a cruel parent if you do that. Give them some water. You got to be able to have growing space for them. Make sure that they can have plenty of room to have some fun as they grow up and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're awesome. Definitely. I recommend getting some ducks. Enjoy it. And yeah, let me know if you have some ducks. That'd be great. So I apologize, I haven't made a video in a little while. Hey, I fixed you. And it's getting really, really windy, but it's been windy, it's been cold, it's been raining, it's been ice and sleet. I just haven't really been able to get out and make a video, so I apologize for this one being so long, but yeah, hopefully I'll have another one out here shortly. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you coming and checking this video out, and until next time, peace.